Hey guys, I'm Lee Taylor. That's the brand new Hyundai Sonata N-Line, and this is a Right Lane review. I know I waffle on about Hyundai pushing to be a leading mainstream competitor, but it's true. They keep supplying more and more sharp designs, and this new Sonata is no exception. The brand new Sonata N-Line boasts a brand new drivetrain, plenty of style, and a specific Australian flavor of tune. And when you think about its rivals like the Camry and the Mazda 6, most people's reaction is meh. But Hyundai want to make sure that this car doesn't elicit that reaction. For starters, it's stunning. A sweeping and muscular coupe-like body, that fabulous integrated DR rail across the chrome hip line that really accents this deep metallic red makes this car stand out. Not to mention, part of the design team is from Audi, so there's no surprise here, really. So how's the Sonata once you get out on the road? Well, it's a fabulous car. I reckon this is probably the best Hyundai in the stable, and that's saying a lot considering that Hyundai's got really good cars across both Hyundai and the Genesis brands. So this is a fabulous machine. Driving it around town, you can tell it's been tuned for Australia, that flavor of tune that Hyundai loves to do for this particular market. It's lovely to drive, it's comfortable, it looks fabulous outside and in. And you can tell that it's a bit of a looker. Like, people really think this car is attractive. So you're driving around town, people stare. It could be the New South Wales plates, but it's also the fact that this thing is just a fabulous looking machine. It's also really smooth for a dual clutch. So this 8-speed's a brand new wet dual clutch system for Hyundai, and it is a fabulous transmission. Things pop along pretty easily at low speeds. It's not too clunky. It changes gears easily when you're just going around town. And when we talk about performance, there is some serious performance there as well. We'll get to that in a bit. You can see out of it reasonably well because of the coupe body. You don't really see the corners, but you do have some nice parking tech like surround view cameras and some good sensors that are nice and responsive. It also has really good safety tech, all of Hyundai's normal safety sense pieces, but they've now added junction assist, so the car will look in the other lane when you're turning at a junction and try to stop you from turning into oncoming traffic, which is a nice touch. And it also has blind spot collision avoidance assist, and that's a mouthful. And basically what it does, it has the blind spot cameras, looks down the side of the car, and it will keep you from, or try to keep you from hitting a car next to you if it knows something is there. And when those blind spot cameras, when you indicate, the view of your blind spot actually appears on the gauge cluster in front of you, which is a nice little touch. Now, dynamically, this car is also quite a jewel. It's very well rounded. There is a sport suspension here, so it's a bit stiff, but it's not too stiff. This car now has the brand new 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, quite big 4-cylinder, and it makes just over 200 kilowatts and just under 420 newton meters of torque. And that's a lot of power through a car that's only front-wheel drive and without a limited slip differential. But that means this car is good with launch control to 0 to 100 in 5.4 seconds, according to Hyundai. And I have to tell you, I believe them because it is a firecracker when you let it rip. And this 8-speed dual clutch, which I think is the same 8-speed they're putting in the N Performance, I'll have to double check that, is fabulous at powering those gears through at every chain. It just thumps them through, and it's fantastic machine. So this car has that dual personality of being able to chill out and be around town and be beautiful, but also, you know, have a bit of fun up the back road. I think this car drives better than any other front-wheel drive sedan on the market. Full stop. Full stop. It's better than an A4. It's better than a Passat. I can't think of anything else really that comes close to it. It's definitely better than a Camry. It's a fabulous machine, and at $50,000 before on roads, it's a hell of a deal. There's no other car out there that offers this size and this type of style and performance for, you know, 50 grand plus on roads. This is also probably my favorite Hyundai so far. Bloody well done. How's the inside on the Sonata? Well, to start with, I really like the design in here. It swoops around quite nicely. It's a good touch, this new design that Hyundai is doing. From the seat, it feels really nice and comfortable. You sit a little high, but that's okay. You're in sport seats and they feel fabulous, and they even give you an adjustable bolster so you can kind of adjust the amount of hug you have. You have a Hyundai steering wheel, which is a little bit weird looking, but feels great in the hands. Power shifters for the usual bits. Big, beautiful digital driver's display, which also shows you your blind spot cameras. Another display up top, which is your heads-up display, just shows you your blind spot monitors, nav, infotainment, all the usual things. Speaking of infotainment, a nice, big, beautiful touchscreen here in the middle, and everything is finally skewed towards the driver. Thank you, Hyundai. Such a marked improvement. Heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, wireless charging pad, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, shift-by-wire, plenty of cubbies for anything and everything you would need, a massive panoramic sunroof which opens, and a shade in the back window. So tons of great things in this car. So how's the back seat in the Sonata? Well, to start with, there's plenty of room, and it's nice and airy in these inline seats. Plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom, even with the coupe-like body, and it seems bright because of this big sunroof. A USB point just in case you need to charge anything, aircon, plenty of cubbies, cup holders with the armrest as usual, and an anti-peasant shade just in case. Good place to be. So how's the boot in the back of the Sonata? Well, to start with, you have to use your key fob or the button on the inside, as there's no button on the actual tailgate itself. But once you're in, you have plenty of space. Tons of room for baggage, trips to Bunnings or maybe IKEA, plus the back seats do fold down for extra storage. And speaking of space, you only have a space saver spare on the load floor, so keep that in mind. So what's the tops, bottoms, and final verdict for the 2021 Hyundai Sonata N-Line? Well, on the bottom are just a few little niggly things that are really just nitpicks. One's the fact that the interior, though looking beautiful, has some cheaper materials down low, particularly some of the plastics. The infotainment unit itself is a little bit clunky, particularly on navigation, but there's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for that. And they've left some performance on the table. The lack of a diff and these not as sticky as I would like to tires leave some grip to be wanted, but I have a feeling they'll probably be in performance model. So what's on top for the Sonata? Well, to start with, it's a looker. I mean, it's a fantastic looking car inside out, and it drives equally as well. It's probably my favorite Hyundai in the entire model lineup. Not to mention that 2.5 liter engine we're gonna see a bit more of, and it's a firecracker. So well done, Hyundai. So what's my final verdict on the Hyundai Sonata N-Line? Well, I have to say, I think this is probably my favorite Hyundai in the model lineup so far, and it's a fantastic machine. So if you're after a well-priced, affordable little sports sedan, definitely check it out. And even though some materials are a little plastically down low, it's a marked and no.
That's all, folks.